Ground Zero. Recently, he was surprised and touched to find a completely intact baseball belonging to Tradeweb, a company that was housed on the 51st floor of the North Tower. All 80 employees survived. Jim Toffee is the CEO of Tradeweb. Good morning to both of you. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Ben, let me start with you if I could. You've been working, give people a sense, you know, we've often heard throughout this terrible time that the pictures on television really don't indicate just how horrific it is down there. Tell me what your job has been in recent weeks down at Ground Zero.
Well, we're working with the construction people, and as they work through the rubble, we examine the area, see whatever we could find in that area.
And we should mention, when you're down there, there are very, very few things found intact. I mean, it is completely amazing how even the sandstone of the building has been reduced to pure sand.
Almost everything is sand and twisted metal.
Have you been able to find any object, any sort of sign of what life was like before this happened?
There's really been nothing that I've seen. There hasn't been any furniture. You don't see pieces of glass. There's very, very little that's recognizable there.
You don't see things that might have been on people's desks, like frames or paperweights or anything along those lines?
I haven't seen anything like that.
So tell me how you happened to come upon this baseball.
I was just sifting through one day, and I saw what I thought was a piece of concrete. It was round, a little rounded, so I dusted it off, and it was a baseball. And I couldn't believe it. It was amazing, the condition of it. And I started looking at the signatures, wondering if it was baseball players, Willie Mays or Joe DiMaggio.
Hoping it was, right?
Hoping it was, right.
Instead.
It was a promotional baseball from a company called Tradeweb.
In fact, tell me about this baseball, if you could, Jim. Who has signed it, and what was the purpose of it?
Yeah, this ball was designed to give to our customers, and all the signatures on there represent our partners on Wall Street. You know, J.P. Morgan and Morgan Stanley and all the big
Merrill
investment
Lynch, I see,
right.
Smith Barney.
And the irony is, all these companies have been dramatically affected by, you know, September 11th as well.
You, I know, Vin, wanted to get this back to the folks at Tradeweb, so you emailed them, and I have your email right here, and I'm just going to ask you if you could read it real quickly for me, Ben.
Sure. My name is Vin Bavaro, and I'm a battalion chief with the New York City Fire Department. I was working down at the site of the World Trade Center. Through the tons of debris that I have combed through, one of the very few recognizable items I've come across is a Tradeweb promotional baseball. I looked up your company on the web, wondering what might have came of your company employees. I am very gratified to see, based on your press release, that all employees are accounted for. Being a baseball fan, coach, and player, this item has become a symbol of hope for me. Baseball is the American pastime, a great game from a great country. Once again, I'm happy to hear all your employees are okay.
Sincerely, Vin Bavaro. When you found that baseball, you said it in the email, it had become a symbol of hope to you. What went through your head, Vin, when you dusted it off and you saw that this baseball, sadly without some famous signatures on it, but that this baseball was intact?
Yeah, well, you know, of all the things to find, you know, a baseball, it's the American game, and it's nicked up a little bit, but you know, it survived, and I felt it was a symbolic of the New York City Fire Department, of New York City, and of America. We're all banged up a little bit, but we're going to come through this, and that's what I felt.
It's pretty amazing. You all let me smell this baseball before we began. And it smells like a concentrated smell of what you experience when you go down to Ground Zero. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it, how it's absorbed this sort of chemical, burnt plastic
Yeah, I think
smell?
it's jet fuel and the concrete dust, and it's just embedded in there.
Jim, what did it mean to you to get this email to you and your employees? Because I know it circulated around your office pretty fast, right?
Yeah. When I got the email from Vin, I read it, I was in total amazement, and it was probably the most uplifting news we had since September 11th. And, you know, I forwarded it to everybody in the company right away, and as people came to work that morning, I could see them log onto their computers and read the email, and you could just see the emotional, the body language, and the amazement and the discussions, and like, we got to meet Vin, we got to have him here, we got to thank him for all the firemen that were racing up as we were racing down and keeping us calm.
Oh, I know, because I know some people who work at your company, and the stories they tell about all the brave firefighters who were so nice and so calm and helping people and completely sacrificing
completely
their
reassuring
lives.
to everybody. Yeah.
What's going to happen to this baseball now?
Finders keepers. It's Vince.
Well, and I offered to give it back. It's theirs, and
No.
but he said I could keep it. So
It means much more for us, for Vin to have it than
Really?
us.
As sort of a thank you to all the
Absolutely.
firefighters, because I know when you emailed him back, you wrote how grateful you guys were to you and all your fallen brothers. Well, thank you guys so much for coming by. We really appreciate it. The only crimp in the story is you're a Mets fan, right?
No. Go
Is that
Yankees.
not true? Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got bogus research. So good thing. Jim Toppy and Vin. Oh, you're the Mets fan. Oh. All right. Well, that's okay. You all excused. Anyway, nice to see you both. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks, and we'll be back with more of Today right after this.